After Nitish's historic 10th oath, PM waves Gamcha at the crowd, a cloth that connects people, places, and cultures. It's also presented as a token of honor. Where does this versatile cloth come from?
Hello and welcome. You're watching Explained by NewsX with me, Devika Devan. There comes a moment, viewers, in history of an object of utility when it transforms into a cultural emblem, a marker of identity and a symbol of rootedness. Across India, many such everyday objects have experienced this evolution, but rarely has this shift been as organic and as heartfelt as the journey of the modest Gamcha. Yes, you heard that right. The Gamcha, traditionally seen as a humble, functional cloth, has now found itself at the center of political imagery, cultural assertion and community pride. This shift was seen very clearly in Bihar over the last week. After the assembly election results, the Gamcha suddenly became a banner of quote-unquote Bihariness. The moment Prime Minister Narendra Modi waved it in celebration of the BJP's majority, the crowd responded instinctively by lifting and waving their own Gamchas at the BJP headquarters in Delhi on the 14th of November. Today, on the 20th of November, during the swearing-in of the NDA government, this visual repeated itself once again. What was once a cloth used quietly during a day's work now occupies center stage as a symbol of belonging. What we're witnessing, however, is not just a fashion moment, but a cultural proclamation. In short, the Gamcha has arrived at the national stage. So today on Explained, we dive deeper. Where does the Gamcha come from? How did this simple piece of cloth evolve through centuries? Why does it hold such strong emotional and cultural value? And how is it used across South Asia and the world? Let's begin with the basics. A Gamcha is a rectangular piece of hand-woven cloth, traditionally made of coarse cotton, often in a checked or striped pattern. It is light, absorbent, and easy to dry in the sun. While the colors vary across regions, the essence remains the same. It is simple, practical, and deeply rooted in everyday life. The word Gamcha itself has an incredibly straightforward origin. It comes from two words, ga meaning body and mucha meaning to wipe. So the literal meaning is something that wipes the body. But interpreting a Gamcha as just a towel reduces its cultural significance. In reality, the Gamcha is much more than an object of hygiene. It is an item of clothing, an everyday companion, a protective layer, and a sign of labor. Also a marker of regional identity. Men across villages wear it over their shoulders, around their neck, tied around the waist, or even wrapped around the head to shield them from the sun. During intense summers, it becomes a head cover. It wipes sweat during farm labor. It is used to carry food. During winters, it becomes a light scarf. It is offered as a token of respect to guests. It is used during festivals, community ceremonies, religious occasions, and political gatherings. And in recent times, it has become a cultural prop, a gesture of solidarity and a badge of pride. But to understand the significance of the Gamcha, we must go back in time. The Gamcha has a long historical lineage that spans centuries. Anthropologists and textile historians point out that hand-woven cotton cloths, similar in size and function to the modern Gamcha, were used in ancient India. These cloths were often produced in regions with flourishing weaving traditions like Bengal and Assam. These regions were known internationally for their textile expertise. Bengal's muslin cloth and cotton work, for instance, have been recorded in travelogues dating back to Greek and Arab traders. In many rural homes, especially in eastern India, the Gamcha has always been an essential household item. It was affordable, easy to produce, and woven locally, which made it accessible across classes. Weavers, often from traditional weaving communities, made Gamchas on handlooms using cotton yarn. Over time, the designs evolved, but the core remained the same. The story of the Gamcha, however, is not limited to Bihar. Across eastern India, the Gamcha takes distinctive forms, names, and colors. In West Bengal, the Gamcha usually has bold red and white checks. In Orissa and Jharkhand, the designs are with thicker patterns and brighter colors. In Assam, it becomes something far more prestigious, the gamosa. The Assamese gamosa is white with red motifs, traditionally woven on a hand loom. It is not just a utility cloth, but a symbol of Assamese identity and pride. The gamosa is used in festivals, rituals, and as a gesture of honor. It has been given during Bihu celebrations, worn by artists, and placed around the neck of a guest as a sign of welcome. In 2022, the Gamosa received the Geographical Indication or GI tag as well. This recognition ensures that the traditional weaving practices and the cultural heritage of Assam are preserved and protected. It also legally protects the authentic design from being copied by mass producers. The GI tag elevated the Gamosa from a regional symbol to a nationally recognized cultural product. Other states too have their own versions. In Manipur, the Lirum Fi serves a similar purpose but is more intricately woven. In Uttar Pradesh, the bright red or orange gamcha is a common sight amongst farmers and labourers. In Tamil Nadu, the tundu is a staple accessory for men, especially in rural and temple settings. In Kerala, the Thorth Mundu is a thin cotton towel that functions much like a gamcha. The popularity of the gamcha is not limited to India. In Bangladesh, the gamcha or the gamucha has deep cultural roots, especially amongst fishermen, farmers and rickshaw pullers. In Nepal's eastern Terai region, the gamcha is used just as it is in Bihar or Bengal. Even in Southeast Asia, similar clothes exist. In Cambodia, the krama is nearly identical in usage. In Myanmar, the paso often serves a similar function. And what this shows us is that the concept of a simple hand-woven multi-purpose cloth is universal across agrarian societies. Traditionally, gamchas were made only with cotton. The cotton made them absorbent and lightweight. But with time, fabric variations emerged to make them more durable and decorative. Today, gamchas can be found in several types of cotton, linen blends and even polyester cotton mixes. Some high-quality gamchas from Bengal and Assam are still made on traditional looms using pure soft cotton. Craft clusters in Orissa and West Bengal have also experimented with finer thread work to create designer gamchas for urban markets. Despite these innovations, the basic appeal of the gamcha remains the same. Its simplicity, its comfort, its ability to be used in multiple ways. It is serving couture fashion right now and is being loved by the urban youth. Designers and style enthusiasts have embraced it, giving it a creative spin and turning it into kurtas, dresses, saris and skirts. Now homegrown labels are creating entire collections around the gamcha. Take the example of 145 East, the Kolkata-based clothing brand which designs dresses, kurtas and Indo-Western pieces made from this cloth. In 2012, Anurag Kashyap attended the Cannes Film Festival to promote his film Gangs of Wasseypur. During the event, he was seen wearing a gamcha. While the rest of the team followed the strict dress protocol of the festival, Kashyap wore this gamcha with a Dior suit, an unexpected fusion that sparked conversation around cultural pride on a global stage. Now, as the gamcha enters the national stage, a new conversation has begun of cultural appropriation. It is important to understand this debate clearly. Cultural appropriation occurs when a community's cultural element is used by someone outside of that community in a way that takes away its meaning or disconnects from its roots. With the gamcha, this concern emerges when high-end fashion or political symbolism overshadows the labor of the weavers who produced it. For instance, when fashion brands sell designer gamchas for thousands of rupees without acknowledging the craftsmanship of rural weavers who traditionally make them for a fraction of that cost, the cultural value gets diluted. Similarly, when political imagery begins to dominate the symbolism of the gamcha, some argue that an object of daily life is being co-opted for political branding. Others believe that the wider visibility only strengthens its cultural presence. The line is thin and complex, viewers. That's our basic point. But what remains undeniable is that the gamcha carries heritage, identity and history. Its story is intertwined with the story of India's labour, its rural economy, its weavers and its cultural diversity. Why has the gamcha become so iconic recently? There are many reasons. Number one, a growing sense of regional pride where cultural objects are being reclaimed and celebrated. Two, the weaving community's efforts to preserve handloom culture. Three, politics which often embraces symbols that instantly connect with people. And number four, social media where everyday cultural symbols quickly turn into trends. But perhaps the biggest reason is nostalgia. People connect with objects that remind them of home, their village, their elders and their roots. The gamcha represents a lifestyle that is simple, hardworking and grounded. In conclusion, it is clear that the gamcha is no longer just a piece of cloth. It is history woven in cotton. It is an identity folded on the shoulders. It is pride wrapped around the neck, whether it is waved at a rally, gifted at a celebration, or worn during a day's work. The Gamcha carries the weight of stories, traditions, and memories. In a world obsessed with the new, the Gamcha offers an alternative, which is the timeless. And with that, we step into a very quick break.
After Nitish's historic 10th oath, PM waves Gamcha at the crowd, a cloth that connects people, places, and cultures. It's also presented as a token of honor. Where does this versatile cloth come from?